And Stephanie Gilmore told me after she won her heat earlier that she's on a bigger board today, too. So you're seeing that a lot from the ladies today as they try to sort of figure out these conditions that we have. Like you mentioned, Pete, we've got Tyler Wright, Bettylou Johnson, and then Caitlin Simmer. But let's see what happened in the break. This is Tyler Wright up and riding. What are you seeing, Pete?
Well, we'll see what she has for us here. First turn, she's got that layback carve in her repertoire in there, so 2 solid turns, but also picking up a wave here. The local girl, Bettylou. See a little bit more different in her equipment is that she's going to have a little more spice in it. And I don't know if she's using actual different epoxy cores, which the Slater Designs will have.
Let's talk about it. The Surfline forecast for today, as you can see, the morning 10 to 12, dropping off in the afternoon. But we have some action here. Caitlin Simmers using her priority up and riding. Little bobble there, gets the turn nice all the way back into that foam, trying to make something else happen. Another big turn here.
And that also shows that the wave itself is flattened up. Here it gets the first carve. This was nice, into the pocket, tight all the way back to the foam. But then here's the roundhouse. Holds that rail at first and then drives all the way back. But that's the style of turn she had to do on that type of wave. Getting back to that power for the foam bounce is important.
There's a lot of bump on the first wave of the set, too. So her taking the first wave of the set, I think.
So she waited a while for that one. And Bettylou right behind her. Another big carve back into the foam. Searching for another turn here and cannot find it. So up and out for Bettylou.
So it was hard for her to negotiate that. Look at the next wave. Look at how clean it is. So I think this is a big point of contention here in this heat is the fact that each wave is different.
Tyler Wright getting in on the action, using her quick priority, big turn, heading back up into that lip line, into the foam. Some nice big cars from these women on this set. Tyler again though finding that wave dying out rather quickly once you get those first 2 turns in.
First wave that arrives after the water's been laid down is super bumpy. Then they get smoother and smoother. And Tyler catching the last wave, but the best wave.
Yeah, and it was. It just hit the reef a little bit better to where it was positioned. The wave for Bettylou, unfortunately, died out really quickly. So it almost came into the energy of the last wave of Caitlin, whereas the outside wave here, just a little bit further up the reef. So she got that outside steeper section and then straight into the bottom and another carve. And again, bit of energy on that carve. Look at the technique. Just the arms spread out, driving the arm through the... You pull your arms in or up, right? And if you're going to do it like that, driving it across your chest. And surfing, as we see this here, just never got into it. And with the wind and the extra bounce, she just rode the lip over the top. It's almost like snowboarding, riding off the top of the cornice. Unfortunately, they're not able to turn it around. And there's a lot of wind blowing up the face here. And it just made her stuck up there. She thought she had the opportunity to get down underneath that ledge. Who is making the boards for Tyler these days. Again, John being a pilot, test pilot, what better pilot to be, looking at design. And I think that, John's very interested in development of surfboards and, whether it be flex pattern constructions and different unique design.
We saw Caity Simmers go up and out on a wave. Tyler Wright back in it. Again, looking confident, trying to find that corner, gets to it. Big turn here. Again, trying to find another section, but not anything other than that one turn. So we saw a few things happen there. Caity Simmers just going up and over the falls there on that last.
So, getting up into that lip line is ultra important as soon as you can.
And Tyler Wright, like we see, quickly fighting to get to that lip line, Pete.
Yeah, and you can see there's a sense of urgency.
One turn in, but she was looking for a little bit more. She is in a good spot where she is in the lead. Bettylou Johnson now finding her wave, gets into it well. Big turn off the lip, searching to find another maneuver, and here it is. Back into the foam with that turn before that wave also says, that's all I've got for you.
Before the wave is going to go into that deeper water and dissipate, so getting that one turn is done. This is a beautiful wave here for Bettylou. The quality wasn't really there, but ultimately where she placed her turns and the speed she carries through the maneuvers, she actually surfed that wave up as far as the quality of what she probably saw right out of the gates. So this is going to add to her point total. And again, it's the quickness. You see that driving arm. She has a very similar technique as well where the arms are spread out, but she turns that arm earlier than Tyler Wright does. And again, one more time, again, driving that arm through.
It's Caity Simmers back in action, going down the line, making the turn off the lip. Another turn here for Bettylou, that roundhouse that you're talking about, Pete Strider, which we know she wants to do before, again, the wave. So we're really seeing you got one, maybe two maneuvers on these waves if you are, pick the right spot on them. And so those first turns really critical.
Nicely done there for her. unfortunately here for Caitlin, this wave was always going to be kind of going into that deeper water. Yeah, nice turn, but the wave just flattens out quickly right there, so this is going to be a lower number.
They understand the Hawaiian power and just water, and I just feel super comfortable, and I'm grateful to bring in some new colors. It's very bright, so my mom can see me, even though I have a red jersey on. It never hurts to be brighter, but yeah, I'm super stoked to be working with.
Wave was a canvas. Look at that face, nice and smooth, and she attacked it. She had a beautiful opening carve there. She comes around for another sweep and then finishes on the inside. This turns so hard with all that water moving around her.
So it's good enough. Bettylou with a 5.0, which puts her at a 9.13 total for the heat. She moves into first place. Tyler Wright now needs a 4.31 to catch up to Bettylou, and Caity Simmers sitting with priority. She needs just over a 5, a 5.09.
Absolutely amazing. Well, we'll see you into round 3. You must be pretty rapt to get that heat 1 done.
Thanks, Laura. Gracias a todos en Costa Rica. Pura vida y mucho amor.
As we pick up the live action here, Tyler Wright getting into trying to find that little corner, doesn't end up finding one. We have a few waves that we are waiting on scores from. Bettylou right now, while we're waiting for the waves to drop, she needs a 4.04 to move her into first. Caity Simmers with this same situation. So Caity Simmers, if anybody has already faced that pressure and gone through it, Caity's one of those surfers. Tyler Wright up and riding yet again. Nice little turn here, finding that lip line like you've been talking about, Strider, but just buries the nose on that one.
Let's take a look here at Tyler.
Tyler trying to get something going on this one. Does a quick snap into the lip, but then has a tough go right there where she pokes the nose coming out of that. The wave went into deep water.
So she needed a 4.31. Now we're looking at Caity Simmers. Needs a 5.09 to advance. Big turn up into the lip line. You see that rail grabbing, just managing those bumps. Another big turn here. See if the wave offers her one more, maybe a little bit, almost.
You know, cup that water back up at her, and unfortunate for her. But this wave, I really like it. I know it's a little bouncy, but she attacked it, you know, and she's throwing her board around and her shoulders are turning down. So, I mean, that could be a pretty solid score. I don't know if it's going to be what she needed, but I do love the fact that she's regained confidence and enough to actually come at this wave. Look at this turn, Pete. She's just throwing it down the corner.
And she's going to better her situation, but ultimately, is it the 5.09 at this point? It feels like it's, considering that we'll see Tyler Wright won't improve, so is this a 5.09? That's really kind of the question for the judges. Feels like Bettylou is going to take the win.
There's Bettylou also in on the action this set. Big roundhouse turn from Bettylou. Looking for that lip line, finds it again, spraying cameraman over there, and then Bettylou up and out as well. So a lot of action on that last set.
Absolutely ripping out there. She dominated this heat in the back half. She decided that she was going to authority. She got the right waves, and she executed on all of her turns. She was surfing so clean and smooth and strong.
You see all of the coaches, or all of the surfers, catching up with their coaches who are caddying for them out in the water. Caity Simmers, we are waiting on a score from her. She needs a 5.09. We're waiting on that final score to drop. You see some of the judges really like, one of the judges giving her a 6, and then we have 4.8, 4.8, 4.5, still waiting on one more, a 4.7. So that is not going to be enough for Caity Simmers to improve her situation, get herself out of the elimination round. So she will be surfing again this afternoon. Bettylou Sakura Johnson taking the heat win here. Tyler Wright finishing with the 8.16. She also moves on. When we come back, we've got another heat.